hello.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Is it?
Just depends on where you are and
Well,
when you download
when you
the
watch
podcast.
this, that's true. How about this? Hello.
Hello.
Do we have to say good morning, good evening?
Works at all levels.
Hello, welcome to another round of the Ray's Boom Boom Room. I'm your host, Ray Mancini, with my ace cut man, corner man here, Mike Case.
Hello.
And
That's right.
if you were ever in my corner, I wouldn't be able to fight through.
No, I know.
I'd be laughing the whole time.
Yeah, but your abs would be real
I'd
tight.
be laughing like crazy. I'd be laughing. You know, Mike, give me the spit bucket. Well, where's the spit
Hey,
bucket?
spit,
I
just
can't
spit.
I can't get my shirt dirty. Come
Spit on that guy. Yeah.
Get it yourself.
That's right. I can't wait to talk about the fights this weekend.
And then we got a very special guest.
Yeah, we do.
Very special guest who's been waiting on the line. But we actually can see his face and everything for about 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
He's that anxious to get on this show.
Look at those dimples.
He's
He
that
really
anxious
wants
to get on this show.
Really wants to get on.
bet.
And he can weigh in on the fights too this weekend too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk to him.
Yeah.
But the fight this weekend that I had done in Palm Springs, which was lovely to be out in Southern California once again. The desert is spectacular, it really is. At the Saboba Casino in San Juancito. Ricardo, you're going to correct me.
Yeah, Ricardo, we may need you.
I know how to say
in.
my J-A. Yeah. Like Juan
Yeah.
Juancito.
It's Southern California.
Anyhow, Southern California, Palm Springs area. How's that? Palm Springs. And but we stay at the Morongo Casino, which is right. I used to pass it when I went to Palm Springs, right there after 10. Morongo Casino, beautiful, lovely casino. It was just a lovely time. Great fights. Put on the PBC again. Put on a spectacular show for our viewers on FS1. I did it, co-hosted it with Sean Porter, was my co-host again, along with Chris Myers. And the main event was the underdog won. Ivan Redcatch fought. But you're going to appreciate this, Ricardo. Simon is from Ukraine, so he has two nicknames. They call him, he trains in Mexico with, I'm trying to think of the guy's name, but when he comes to America, he's working with Shane Mosley was in his corner. Which I found interesting, and he fought the guy and he fought Devin Alexander, who had Roy Jones in his corner. So two Hall of Famers
In the
guy's
opposite corners.
Yeah, and this Devin Alexander, who could fight, was a former champion. Sean Porter actually beat him for the IBF welterweight title. Had Roy Jones in his corner. And this is the first fight they were together. And Devin Alexander, slick, southpaw, could fight. Ivan Redcatch is a southpaw, good puncher. But they call him El Ucranio, right? But he calls himself, that's the nickname, but he calls himself El Terrible. I said, no, you cannot do that. There's only one El Terrible.
Who's El Terrible?
Eric Morales.
Morales.
And one of the greatest fighters, one of Mexico's greatest fighters of all time, Hall of Famer. You can't call yourself El Terrible.
No, you can't.
Well, there's only one.
Maybe baby Terrible.
No. So, but they call him El Ucranio. El Ucranio. I said that, not a.
Yeah, he should be the Ukraine train or something like that. You know what I mean?
There you go. But this kid, right? Kick up forward. But anyhow, he was the underdog, and Ivan Redcatch hit Devin Alexander with a shot on top of the head, like overhand right. And those are shots, Ricardo, mess you up. Top of it, and he went down.
Just
he went
like
down
that.
on his face.
Oh.
When a guy goes face first,
he's out.
not good, right? He hit the floor, he woke up, he got up, and because of credit to Devin Alexander, he's a warrior. He wanted to continue, but he was wobbly, and they stopped it, and rightfully so. He didn't argue. He had his family in the corner. I watched young kids, his kids. It's hard to watch to see your father. They talked to him later on in the locker room. I felt bad for him because he's been a real class example. Good champion, good fighter, class guy. He was hurt, He said, I have to think about it. But he's in the fourth quarter of his career. It's better if he shuts it down. But, he's had a good career. But anyhow, that was that. So, Ivan Redcatch, El Ucranio.
He can hit, though.
El Terrible.
In
El
any
Ucranio.
El Ucranio.
And he comes forward and everything.
Thank you.
But the thing, the buzz on him is, the rub on him is, when they asked me, I said, he's an enigma as a fighter. Kid can fight. He's aggressive, he's strong, but a little chinny. Now, in a boxing term,
Which
in
means
Ricardo's,
what?
when you're a little chitty, means
You stick it out too far,
no,
or you
when
may go down when you get hit?
You go down.
Okay.
He's been dropped a few times. Now, he's only been stopped once by John Molina, but John Molina is a tough guy, so, and it was a fight of the year candidate. But other guys have dropped. He's got up. He lost his hit, but you keep going down. So, but not this time. So Ivan Redkach, El Cranio knocked out Devin Alexander in the I forgot the third or fourth round. It was early in the fight, so that was a hell of a win for him. But he was a big underdog going into that.
I saw it.
Yeah,
I was watching it.
And then in the semifinal, we had Willie Monroe from Rochester, New York, who has a family. Family's been in the boxing business forever. His uncle was one of the great middleweights of Willie the Worm Monroe from Philadelphia. His father was a fighter. So Willie Monroe beat Hugo Centeno. We go Hugo, the boss. Centeno.
He's the boss.
Well, he wasn't a boss in this fight. And Hugo's a good guy. I know Hugo. I met him when he was a sparring partner for Canelo for a fight. They train at the Wild Card Gym in L.A., and I met him then. Nice kid, good-looking, handsome son of a gun. But he just didn't do enough. So, and that was it. But also, on one of our PBC fighters who wasn't on this card, who's been on our card a couple months ago, was a semifinal, beat a big, good-looking German guy, and it was Andy Ruiz. And as most people now know in the boxing world, Andy Ruiz knocked out Anthony Joshua.
And that's the fight that, like, everybody, even when I got up the next day to go coach a baseball game, people were talking about this fight.
Because it was today's Buster Douglas. He was such a big underdog, 11-1 underdog against Anthony Joshua. They've been talking about Anthony Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder for how long now? And this is part of the problem when you keep pushing fights back. Can't make a deal, but you got to fight in the meantime. These are the type of guys that come in, are hungry, they're young lions, and
it only takes one.
It only takes
right?
one. And Andy Ruiz, we had him a couple months ago on a fight. He fought a guy 6'7" German. Andy Ruiz, no disrespect, but I think he understands. He comes to look like Humpty Dumpty. He's not.
So he's trained like I do.
Svelte way. He looks, but they said, Ray, watch this guy's hand speed. He got some of the fastest hands of any fighter, heavyweight.
Is that true?
Yes, his hand speed, and he's got a high boxing IQ. He knows how to make a miss, and he's 32-1 going into the fight for a reason. And he knocked out Anthony Joshua. And when Anthony Joshua got up, he hit him with combinations. Anthony Ruiz Joshua went down. And Anthony Ruiz, who's the most non-looking heavyweight champion you ever seen in your life. But what a fighter this kid could
Now,
fight.
is he the champ?
He's the champ.
He's the champ. Well, let's bring in Ricardo and ask him. He got to watch this fight
Yes,
a little
we're
bit
gonna bring him in.
before that screaming
And
kid
so-
gets on my nerves anymore. Just
So
kidding.
we want to tell you, I want to set up about this weekend's boxing.
Okay.
Randy Ruiz, now the heavyweight champ, and again, only in America, man. You come to America for the dream. This is the country where dreams come true. So with that being said, we'll lead right into our friend Ricardo Lucio-Galvan. Ricardo was a DACA child baby. You came here when you were 7 months old. You're born in Mexico. But your family came here to give you a better life, give themselves a better life, and you can tell us a little bit about your
journey, the trip,
journey
right?
from Mexico to here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. So, hello everyone. I'm Ricardo Lucio-Galvan. I'm 21 years old. I came from Mexico City when I was 7 months old. Like Mr. Mancini said, in order to find a better lifestyle. And I've been raised in Reno, Nevada, where my dreams have come true in the boxing world. And I'm also pursuing a professional degree in school as a business major. And man, growing up as an immigrant, like a lot of opportunities that you miss out on. Like for boxing, I was telling Mr. Mancini, you can't compete in national tournaments because you're required to be a citizen or permanent resident at least. And you can't go to Olympic qualifiers. So the only thing you can do is beat the guys that are coming up right now in just regular shows, And like you said, this is the land of where your dreams come true. Andy Ruiz just made a huge upset, and no one expected it. And that's what I'm trying to do one day, just be someone with a known name and make the world know me.
Now, Ricardo, let me ask you something. You were saying you even though you were born in Mexico, you came here. Did you ever think about going back there to maybe try to make the Olympic team for the Mexico team? Because Andrew Ruiz did that,
No.
and I know a couple
Right,
other guys.
right.
He did that, and I know other guys who've gone to their countries of their homeland, even if they weren't born there, their homeland of their parents, and represented their country, and that country of their
Right.
parents or their in the Olympics. You never thought about that?
Well, for me, it kind of be like a different situation because once I was over there, if I ever thought about coming back, like
They
it was
wouldn't
going
let
to
you
be
in.
a harder situation.
That's right. That's
yeah,
right.
No.
They wouldn't let you back in.
Right.
I got you.
Can
I
you
got
talk?
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Can you talk a little about the journey itself, like what you've heard, what it was like, how many people came, that kind of thing, when you guys actually did leave your hometown to
Yeah,
come
when
to the
your
U.S.?
parents- When your parents,
Right.
how did your parents cross over? How did it happen?
So we came over on a tourist visa, but our visa expired once we were here. So that way we couldn't go back. I mean, nothing like too much over like the common story you hear. But we came over with a visa and it expired and we couldn't go back. But now under the Obama administration, I was able to qualify under the DACA program, which is the Deferred Action for Early Childhood Arrivals. And that has protected me from being deported or anything and allows me to work in the U.S. as well.
How about your parents? What's their protection from being deported?
So right now they have a work permit here in the U.S. as well that allows them to work here without having any troubles.
And they've made all the paperwork for their permanent citizenship.
Not yet. We have to wait a little
Oh, yeah.
longer
Oh, yeah.
to
yeah.
follow up with the paperwork.
I got you. So you're following procedure. You're following procedure, but there's steps you have to take.
Yeah, definitely.
I got you.
How many people came, and why did they come, and how did you end up in Reno?
For my family, it was just my two parents and I, because I'm an only child.
Okay.
And then here in Reno, I already had an aunt and a cousin. So Mexican families always stick together. So we'd always help each other, like living together, paying rent together. But yeah, just us three.
I think it's beautiful. That you said it. Latino families, much like a lot of ethnic families, but I know Latino families very well, and they stick together. You help each other, right? But even when you have little, they always make sure that others have it too, that nobody goes hungry.
Right.
And it's a beautiful thing. So now, what made you? What I'm more inspired by is the fact that you're going to college, and what made you want to go to college? What made, most people go to school, you wanted to be a fighter, but the fact you went to college also. A lot of guys say, well, I'm just going to go turn pro. I'm not going to worry about an education. I'll make my money in fighting, and and I'll figure it out later on.
Right. No, yeah, definitely. As you know, there's a lot of boxers, professional boxers that don't have degrees, and once they retire from boxing, man, boxing is all they did, so they have nothing to fall back on. And if you didn't know how to manage your career as a boxer, like a lot of money that you made, if you even made some, like you don't know where it went to. So as a professional boxer, there isn't many boxers that have collegiate degrees. And once I retire from boxing, I want to lay back on my degree because, as many people say, education is the only thing that someone can't take away from you. And with that, there's a lot of things you can do after retiring from boxing.
Well, there's no doubt. I always tell people, education, you got to get that education. You got to educate to elevate. Educate
Right.
to elevate, man. You're going to take your life to a different place. You got to have the education. And I'm much more of a fan because of that than if you're fighting.
Thank you.
But Mike, I've actually seen him fight. It's tape.
Okay.
This kid can fight. I'm not saying it because he's on what is. When I saw his manager, who's originally from Youngstown,
Oh, really?
Bill Nelson. Bill
Bill
Nelson.
Nelson.
Yeah, Bill. Hope you're watching. And Bill, I appreciate. Bill's been staying on top of me for months to get Ricardo on. And
Perfect.
I'm glad he did. And I said when we got the opportunity, and of course John made sure it happened.
Yeah.
But this kid can fight. I'm not saying that. I saw the tape, and I wouldn't say like, hey, Bill, if I could help him. This kid can fight. It needs the opportunity. Again, like a lot of fighters, most fighters, they don't have you don't have a promoter behind them right now. Mm-hmm. Bill's his manager, and trying to get him fights. But So I'm trying to help get him. I'm trying to help him with our PBC fighters. Tom Brown.
Thank you.
No, you don't have to think, man. I think it's important. Guys like you need to be seen, and get that opportunity and see where it can go. Once you get in the ring, it's up to you.
What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think, Ricardo? I'll let you talk first, and then you do it as a observer that knows what he's talking about. What do you think you do well in the ring, and maybe some things you need to work on in the ring, and then I'll have Ray kind of see if he agrees with what you're saying.
Right. No, definitely. Being a boxer, you can only have one style of fighting because then they'll figure you out easy. You have to learn how to counterpunch, how to go forward, how to go backwards, how to be smart. I think the most important thing in boxing is how to be smart. You want to hit without getting hit, and you have to risk a little to get some punches in. You know, you're always gonna get hit a little bit, but you're gonna punch more. And I feel like my strengths, and a lot of people would agree, is I like being smart. Like when I see my opponent makes a mistake, I make him miss, and then I hit him back. You know. And staying on the outside with my jab, moving my head, not being like a punching bag, you know, just stiff. And my feet work, my angles.
Yep. He's right. He's going to say his footwork is right. He lives good angles. When I watched him, one thing I liked, and which you can't teach a lot of guys, how to cut off the ring, Mike. The guy, he was cutting off the ring on these guys. Mm-hmm. You can't teach that. I mean, you show them how. I mean, you can't teach it, but it's hard for a kid to get it in his head. Because a lot of guys, some of the top fighters, they still don't know how to cut off the ring. And Ricardo, I watched the tape, fast hands, very fast hands, quick combinations, and he gets out. He slides out just enough. He makes you miss, and he comes back in and makes you pay for it. Mm-hmm. Just what he's saying. He makes the guy miss and make him pay for it once he misses. But he's great. Good footwork, real good footwork. And, you know, when you see a good-looking fighter like that, man, you know, I said, wow, this kid's got more of a pro style. He didn't look like an amateur trying to fight pro. Mm-hmm. He looked like he had a pro style.
What do you think he needs to do a little bit better or improve on? Or is it just maybe polish it up a little bit?
Mike, without having more fights, every fight's getting progression. And he's only had 2 fights so far. Mm-hmm. And the last time he fought when was the last time he fought? Last year? Or was it early this year?
Last February. Yeah, last year.
Last year?
No.
I'm sorry?
What month? Oh, we're losing our connection.
It was last year.
Yeah, end of
February?
End of last year.
Oh, okay.
End of last year. And there's what I'm saying.
Last year.
Okay. And we'll hold on, Ricardo.
You're a little bit frozen, Ricardo. You're kind of going in and out, but now I see you.
You'll
look
hear
good
me.
now.
We'll get you back on in a second.
You look good now.
But when you got a young kid like Ricardo, they got to stay active. If you win a fight now, you want to fight 2 weeks from now or a month from now.
Is that the progression? You want to go that quick?
Yeah, if you can, as long as you're healthy and you come out of it with no marks, you got to progress. And then after 3 or 4 fights in a row, maybe you take a couple of months and then you get them again. But you got, like, I had 12. I turned pro in October. I had 4 fights by the end of the year. Then in my first full years, I had 12 fights, average one a month. But it wasn't every month. I had, like, one time I had 3 fights in 12 days. Because when you're on the undercard, when you're a prelim guy, my manager, the guys will put you on because, sometimes the manager pays for it. My manager paid for me to be on the card. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the promoter gets a free fight. But like one fight, I won the first round knockout. I fought a week later, won by second round knockout. Then I fought 4 days later, won by third round knockout. Point being is, I was coming out, healthy. I'd say, so just keep fighting.
Just keep going.
But I had a manager who was getting me to fights. And he's got a good manager who watches over him. But he got a manager who needs help with the promoter.
So what's been the problem, Ricardo, in your opinion? Why haven't you had more fights?
Just trying to get a fight on. Like in Reno, I debuted in my professional debut was in November of 2017. And then I fought 3 months later in February of 2018. So, and that's how I wanted to keep going, fight every month or every 2 months, as long as Mr. Mancini said I came out healthy out of a fight. But just here in Reno, there's not a lot of boxing shows, and before I had my manager, like in Reno there wasn't any professional boxing that could help here.
So what's he do? I mean, he hasn't fought since February, over a year.
His manager Bill, who I've tried, they're
gonna have to travel, aren't they?
And they have to travel, be a road warrior. Yeah, you're gonna have to be a road warrior, unless we get a fight up in that area. And there's, like I said, Reno. that whole Northern California used to be a good fight town, especially Sacramento was a great fight town. But look, there's a lot of guys like Ricardo, young fighters that need fights. So if you're in Reno, I mean, in Sacramento or San Francisco, you don't need to get a guy from Reno. If you're in Reno, you don't need a guy get, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, but there's more fights in other places than there are in Reno. So they're not getting an opportunity because there's not that many fights in Reno. Now, could he go down to Vegas? Yeah. So that would be the idea. But he's got to get the connections to a promoter.
Yeah.
It's all,
Right,
look,
yeah.
my father taught me this as a young boy. And like anything, Mike, like any profession, breaks and connections.
Not
You
what
got to
you
get
know.
the breaks. You got to have the connections.
Yeah. What would you be able to do some traveling? I mean, either you're running a daycare there, or you have a family to probably think about. I'm guessing. So, would you be able to bounce around a little bit, or is that may be on the back burner?
Well, with my DACA situation, I can travel anywhere in the U.S. So as long as it's in the U.S., I'm willing to go.
Yeah. So you're ready. You could put the college on the back burner and do some and follow the dream a little bit more. You think?
Yes, sir. Yeah. School's always my priority, but I've always managed to keep up with school and boxing. And plus, a lot of professors are very lenient with me because they know, like I always tell them, boxing's a sport where you need to make some sacrifices, and it'll reward you at the end of the day. But a lot of professors help work with me. They give me extra work, or they extend my deadlines. You know.
Well, thank God you got people really to work with you and help you along your journey.
Right.
Ricardo, let me ask you now, as your mom and dad, they both work. They, I mean, I imagine when you come here, they come very, very little.
Right. Yeah. So both my parents work, not like college degree jobs, but they still work and put a roof over my head and food on my table. And my dad, he works 2 jobs, so I tip off my hat to him because coming after work, he still goes run with me in the mornings. He goes to the gym with me, and he sacrifices a lot for me too.
That's beautiful. And that's the thing about immigrant parents. And we always say all parents, we do anything for our kids. Not all parents. Not all parents. Immigrant parents, they come and they bring their kids here for a reason, for the better life, but they want a better life for themselves, and they sacrifice so much. I've seen it when I was, in California for 30 years. You see them come over, kids that go to school, my children, and they come, and immigrant families, there'd be 3 families living in one apartment because they share. They can't afford one on their own. And it's amazing what they'll do for each other and how they sacrifice. But they sacrifice because their whole goal is to have their kids have the better life. And I think most guys like Ricardo understand that and are willing to pay the dues. Go to school, get that education, the opportunities they didn't have. But Ricardo's doing it to be a professional fighter, get a chance to make some money to make a better life for himself and his family. And it's the right reasons why you turn pro. You turn pro for the right reasons. You're going to school, and it's the right reasons why you come to America for the better life.
I think a lot of parents, like when they become parents, you have to realize you have to start liking your kid more than you like yourself.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people can't do that.
No.
There are a lot of people out there that are into, especially people that get married and have kids later in their lives.
Right.
They're used to doing
There's
things
their life.
for themselves. But you have to change your mindset completely. And now that little person comes first and second and third and you're last, dude. And
Mike,
that's how it goes.
The problem is, and Ricardo, I'm sure you understand, like in the entertainment business, that's the problem. See, I always said I would never have gotten together with anybody who was an actress in the entertainment business. Why? Because their career's first, they're second, and you're third. Or your career's first and you're second. But you ain't never going to be first. Now, when a child comes along, the career's still first, the child's second, and you drop to third or fourth. And believe me, that's the problem out there. Kids, they got the nannies, they got other people raising their kids, not them.
I know.
And that was the one thing I put on hold and I'm proud of. I put on my career for a long time to raise my babies. And it's the best thing I ever did. It's the best. I never missed out on anything. And I have no regrets about anything because I did that. So now, that's what you do. I didn't do anything any other parent would do, right? So that's what I'm saying. Be special out there. On the West Coast, you got families that are, I'm talking about entertainment business, I'm sorry. But see, now you got in your family, immigrant family, and they do what they do to give you a better life. Father working 2 jobs, your mother working, but you are paying them back by getting your education. And that's why you won't let that lapse. You'll make sure you get that education, get that degree
Yes, sir.
to give
No.
to give back to them everything
Yep.
that they gave to you.
That's your job,
Right. That's his job.
right?
Yeah,
Being
definitely.
being a fighter. He's
Why?
got to,
Yeah.
Why, of all the
My-
sports you played, Ricardo, why do you think you picked boxing? Is there boxing in your blood? Does your family do it? Or how did you end up in that route?
Right. So my dad practiced a little bit when he was in Mexico, but he never fought amateur or professional. He was just an aficionado. What do you call
yeah,
it?
was a fan.
And,
He's a fanatical.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much like you said. All Latino families, soccer and boxing. Always.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I always been in sports since I was 4 years old. I started with swimming, then I went to karate, then I went to soccer, and all those sports are team sports. You know, it's not an individual sport. You depend on other people, and if they slack off, you end up paying the consequences. And with soccer, my dad always get mad at me because they would push me or kick me, and I wouldn't do anything. You know, I was always a calm kid. And I would say, but Dad, there's 11 other players on the field, and it's not just me, you know. And so he put me in boxing for 3 months so I can learn how to defend myself. And funny thing is, my first coach ever was 85-year-old lady, Thelma Tavares from Reno, Nevada. and she was a tough cookie, man, but she loved every one of us, and the boxing was her passion. And so I stayed there for 3 months, and in those 3 months, I had my first amateur fight. I won. I won my first place little trophy, and man, that made me fall in love with boxing. The amount of discipline it requires from even a little kid, you know, from going running, eating right, going to the gym without being told, let's go to the gym. You know, it's just the love. Once you fall in love with boxing, man, there's no turning back.
That's right. No. You just said it. You have to love boxing. You can't like it because there's gonna be times that don't like you. A lot of time, you know. And I was just looking at. I was looking up the bio that we have of you here. So Thelma Tavares, she's an 85-year-old woman, but she was in the gym.
Yeah, she was in a wheelchair, and even if she was taken to the hospital, she was like, once I get out of here, I need to go to the boxing gym, man. The boxing gym was like her medicine. Without it, she wouldn't feel good. She was in there 24/7.
Was she still? Is she still with us or?
No, she passed away in 2010, sadly.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But she gave you an inspiration. She gave you great inspiration. You
So
know,
wait, your
Yeah,
dad?
so I still go.
Your-
I still go back and visit her at her grave and thank her for everything she planted in me and is now giving fruits.
So your dad took you to boxing so you could defend yourself better in soccer. You walk in and your coach is a lady in a wheelchair?
Yes, sir.
no, I didn't know. You put things in a certain way, Mike.
I'm
that
just
I never
saying,
thought.
of all the people to teach you to be tough, I don't know if that's if I would have walked in and saw that, I don't know if I would have thought, well, yeah, I'm going to come out of here one badass. You know what I mean? She must have been a really special lady.
No, yeah, and the first few words she said, man, we could tell she was a tough cookie, man. Like you could see her yelling at the kids, get to work, stop playing around, you know. And I think that's what my dad liked the most because he's a strict parent, so he doesn't like when you play around or when you do something, you're gonna do it right, you know.
Good for
as
you.
It should be. As it should be.
Good for
And,
you.
You know, so she was now that she's no longer. So she passed. You had another amateur coach, right? And
Yeah.
So you had your first amateur fight after 3 months of training.
Yeah, in my first 3 months of training, I had my first amateur fight at the Boys and Girls Club. I fought Kyle Perasny. I think he was from California. I think I was the first fight of the night, actually. And I won. So I won my first place little trophy, and I just fell in love with boxing after that moment.
There's no greater feeling, especially when you win in boxing.
Yeah.
But after that first win, nothing better. It's a euphoric feeling.
Do you remember your first loss?
Yeah, and yeah, I do. It was my third fight in my amateur career, and man, it was tough. But you know, they said it's okay. It's all about getting experience right now. Just have fun, and just get back to the gym. There's always room for improvement, and keep working hard.
And from that day on, you said you fell in love with the sport and you knew you'd be turned professional someday. You wanted to be a pro.
Yeah. Yeah, so after that moment, I knew I saw more boxing on TV, and it was like, wow, man, I like when that feeling of knowing all the hard work you did individually is paying off, you know,
No,
and
absolutely, absolutely.
and that's just what I wanted to feel one day.
Mike, he's pursuing a business administration career,
That's awesome.
and any particular type of business you want to get into.
Other than managing your own money, probably, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I know you said you want to be
but-
boxing. You want to be around boxing. You want to become a promoter or a manager.
Yeah, I want to become a promoter and bring a lot of boxing back to Reno.
You said that already,
like
yeah.
back in the day, yeah, it was a hotbed for boxing, and it kind of went away. But I want to bring that back to Reno. It's a huge tourist area, so it would help the economy here in
Yeah.
Reno as well. So
Yeah,
get back to the community that saw me grow up.
Is there a reason Reno's boxing has dried up a little bit, or is it just like a cycle, or what?
I retired. Man.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, Mr. Massini brought the whole crowd up here.
I always said Reno was a good boxing town, but it was fortunate when I first had my first my title defense in Reno against Bobby Chacon. Bobby's from Sacramento, so
Right.
it made sense, and so it made sense. Bobby was not actually from Northern California, but he trained in Sacramento, and he had a large Northern California, especially Sacramento, fan base. And then just boxing was big before that, but Ray Leonard had fought there a couple of years earlier, and so I mean it was always a good place for boxing. But instead of going to Vegas, everyone thought like Vegas, but Reno was me. Reno's a blue collar town.
Yeah.
Mike, trust me, you would go there and say, well, it's Youngstown in the mountains.
Huh.
It's a blue collar town, so I identify with those people. As I always tell people, best way to explain it, Ray Leonard was Las Vegas. I was Reno. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
glitz and glamour. Ray was a fighter of my generation. Vegas suited him. Reno suited me.
Yeah, which begs the question then: why aren't more people boxing as kids in Reno? It sounds like that kind of town.
Well,
you
no
know
one
what I mean?
and Ricardo, tell you, they're one of the few universities that still have boxing as part of the curriculum.
Well, there you go. So
Yeah.
why is it drying up, Ricardo? What's the deal?
It's just, well, amateurs, there's a lot of shows. Just professional boxing here in Reno. I have no idea why it's drying up. There's only one promotion team here in Reno. It's called Let's Get It On Promotions. It's the sons of Mills Lane.
Mills
the
Lane, yeah.
referee.
Tommy Lane and his brother.
Yeah, and
Tommy
I
and
mean,
Terry.
they do
Tommy
shows,
and Terry. Yeah. They're good guys.
But they only do them once or twice a year, and I mean,
Look,
it brings a lot of people when they do the shows. Don't get me wrong. I mean, if we had more, like, it'd be amazing.
you know what? I'm going to get in touch with them because I'm Facebook friends with them and ask them why they're not doing more and maybe help them. Because I'm a firm believer. Like in Youngstown, in Ohio, there was only like 14 shows last year. That's terrible. Because as big as a city, big as a
Right.
state, 4 different parts. You got, northeastern Ohio, we're a part of. You
Right.
got the Cincinnati area. You got the Toledo area,
Columbus.
the Dayton area. Why aren't there more? Columbus area, 13. That's not even one a month. We should be having one a quarter in this
Northeast
area.
Ohio itself.
Northeast Ohio should have one a quarter, and if they have 4 parts of the state, one a quarter. That's 16. That's a lot of fights. It should be a 20.
Right.
Should have 20 to 30 shows a year. Yet we don't. And because people looking to go other places. You got to build the local fighters up with club shows locally. Build a fan base before they travel, and that's why I don't understand.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And I don't know why. It's not happening. There's a couple of promoters here. They're trying. I don't know if it's because and the people come out.
I would think.
The people do come out. I know Tommy and Terry Lane, and they got to start being more. I know, dude, 2 years, they should be doing one a quarter. Minimum of 3, one every 4 months.
Yeah.
But you should be one
Right.
every 3 months, I think. That's the only way you're going to build up a local fighters and get local fan base
to get people excited
to
about
promote.
it. Yeah, and then you get more people into the sport. So Ricardo, then what's your biggest concern? Like every day that goes by is another day you don't get to fight a professional fight. So if you need to fight to stay sharp, like Ray says, what's your biggest concern then as these days start to drip away and you're just kind of training and that's it?
Right. Well, I always keep faith, I go to the gym every day. I wake up in the mornings to go run. And Sunday's family day. But other than that, I go to the gym every day. I go spar. I go do my exercise, my strength and conditioning, and hit the bags, do some mitts, work on my technicals, and just have faith that the day's going to come, You have to be patient in boxing, and I've learned that.
Well, he's been patient.
No, he has been patient. And
I'll tell you.
You're right. But you want the right guy to get a hold of you. The right guy, not And this kid can fight. I'm gonna put some calls in. I will. I'm glad you told about Terry. I forgot about Terry and Tommy Lane promoting there. But Mike, it's just it's rough, man. It's funny because I can identify with you. Not me. My father used to tell me the stories. When my father was fighting, turned pro in Youngstown. He was here for 2 years. He couldn't get no fights. He couldn't get no fights. Nobody would fight him in the area that knew. But so that's when he went to New York in 1939.
Yeah.
And that's when he made his bones.
Well, and you look how much discipline. I'll tell you right now, if I wasn't getting any fights, I wouldn't be up at that gym every day.
No, you're right.
Because it takes a different kind of person to do it.
You're absolutely right, Mike. But you got to stay ready. You're right. I told Ricardo, and I think this is true for a lot of guys, even a couple of fighters here locally, that not a lot of guys. In your case, you have guys in your weight class, but you got sometimes you have to become a road warrior. You got to know you're gonna have to take it on the road, go in everyone's backyard, be the opponent, until you start beating guys. They find out, oh wait a minute, this kid is special, because that's where they're gonna pay you to come in their town to lose. They're gonna pay you to go to someplace to lose.
They need guys.
But once you beat the guy, you know.
Has that happened?
Kind of like we were saying earlier, just like Andy Ruiz, he did an upset. No one was expecting it.
No.
And now, I read something, I don't know if it's true, but I guess a few years ago he was offered $30,000 to fight Anthony Joshua. And now he won $7 million on this fight. And now as a champion.
Oh, was that what he got? What was the purse? I didn't know what his purse was.
I believe it was 7, but he took $6 million home.
That's pretty good
for Andy Ruiz. I'm not sure about Anthony Joshua.
Pretty good day.
No, if Anthony Ruiz took over $6 million, you could double that, probably about 20, 25 for Joshua. But I didn't realize Andy Ruiz got that much. God bless him, man. God bless him.
Good for him.
And you know he was a last-minute replacement because the guy was at the fight was Gerald Big Baby Miller out of New York.
Yeah.
But he flunked a drug test, not once but twice. So after that fight, they had to do what I said. I said, Gerald Big Baby Miller's now from Brooklyn. He's looking for the closest bridge to take.
Oh my gosh, that kid's probably been kicking himself ever since.
Yep.
The whole day.
Yeah, he kept saying, "I'm sorry." He got on social media, "I'm sorry to my fans. I'll be back. I'll be back."
Yeah, maybe not.
Okay, so what?
Yeah, guess what?
You had the opportunity to be for the heavyweight championship of the world, and you do something stupid like that.
What was your take on the fight when you watched it, Ricardo?
Man, I think I was like every other fan of boxing, just jumping up and down the ring like a little kid. He became the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world,
Yeah, I mean, can you believe that? Because you're watching the fight as a boxer, but as a fan too, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I had both perspectives, and man, I was shocked, honestly, like the rest of the world. Like you said, like the whole day, and then the day after that. And the day after that, people were still talking about it.
Hey, he's the contemporary Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
Well, Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson 29 years ago. Andy Ruiz is that contemporary, the modern day James Buster Douglas.
How did he do it, Ricardo, in your opinion? How did he pull it off?
He was just underestimated, He always knew he had that self-confidence. He knew all the hard work he put in. And if no one believes in you, you got to believe in yourself, and he did. He was hungry. He wanted to win, and I think just his heart took him to victory.
And I'm telling you, you see some of the fastest hands. That was the first they told me about it. He said, "Ray, believe me, his hand speed. You ain't gonna." Okay. when I saw him knock out the German a couple months ago, then it's what he did with Joshua. His hand speed. Joshua had and he actually, he got dropped the third round or something, and Joshua dropped.
He bounced back.
And he come right back up.
I have two questions about that. First of all, if you're a fighter, and you talked about in your fight too, the guy gets knocked down face first and pops back up. When you're a fighter, is it just kind of in you that you automatically get up without even knowing it?
Absolutely. Well, sometimes subconsciously because you're trained that way.
Right.
But
it's kind of like a reaction.
Does that happen with you too? I mean, maybe it's not happened personally, but have you heard that happen before?
Right. No, you get dropped, you want to get back up. But the thing about Andy Ruiz, he got knocked down hard. He got up, but he came right back at him. He wasn't moving away. He was coming right back at him. He went after him. It was, and he'll tell you. If you see, did you see a picture of I don't think there's any secret. Andrew Ruiz ain't no body beautiful.
Right.
He looks like Humpty Dumpty. He's flabby, but it works. But so you can't take that. Because Larry Holmes didn't have the greatest body. He looked like,
Buster
shaped like
Douglas
a bear.
was no
but Larry
slim
Holmes,
and trim guy.
But Larry Holmes was one of the top 5 greatest heavyweights of all time.
Right. So does he? Then this is my next question. I'll ask you first, Ricardo. Put your Mexican allegiance aside for a second. Does he have what it takes to be a good champion?
Honestly, yeah, he has many skills. Like for a heavyweight, his hand speed is incredible. I was seeing some videos on him doing some bit work. And shadow boxing, man, he's really fast. Honestly, if he focuses a little more on his figure, but then again, that doesn't really matter because you see the guys with big muscles, and then you see the scrawny guy, and he always comes out on top,
Yeah, he's never going to be that body beautiful. He's never going to be that.
Does he have what it takes, you think?
I think he does, and I'll tell you what, he has the mindset, the right mindset, Mike.
Okay.
And to be a champion, and a very good champion, that's the mindset. He's willing to take on all comers, it seems. Now, I don't, and he'll fight. He does it. He'll fight you.
He's not backing down. He can
fight, and I think he does. And he's an inspiration. Now, Anthony Joshua had a rematch clause in the contract, and he's gonna activate it. So they're gonna have a rematch. I don't know how fast. If it's the next 6 months or next year.
Yeah, about September, towards the end of the year.
Is that what you're hearing?
But Andy Ruiz, he's gonna make a lot more money. Why wouldn't he? You'd want to come right back because right now it's the best fight for him.
Is he a PBC fighter now?
Yeah.
Will you guys get that?
No,
fight?
we had him before.
Will you get that next rematch, or will it be on the other network? You think?
No, we'll get it.
Really?
We'll get it because it'll be PBC pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I mean Fox pay-per-view on PBC or Showtime pay-per-view.
Okay.
Because Andy Ruiz now is Showtime as a pay-per-view fighter. He's a heavyweight champion of the world. But I'd love to get him as the main event, headline one of our cards, PBC cards.
Seems like a natural.
On Fox Network. Because he'll get bigger exposure there than anywhere he could.
Right.
But I don't. The money, we can pay the money without having.
Comes down to money, doesn't it?
It comes down
every single time.
That's what it does.
Speaking of that, Ricardo, do you think, since you're having trouble getting fights as a featherweight, do you think you'll change classes at all? Does that matter if you're in a different weight class to get more fights, or are you just kind of who you are and that's the end of it?
Oh well, kind of for my height, it's the ideal weight. I mean, I think about moving up a little in my weight classes down the road, but for my height, 5'8", I mean 126 is pretty ideal. Maybe 130, 135, but you have to be smart.
Would it help? Would it help though?
Get a little bit of experience.
You got the good height for that. He's got a good height for it.
I mean, would it help get more fights? Let's just say, if you jump a class, you get 3 more fights.
I don't think so. I mean, if you don't have a promoter, it doesn't matter. He needs a promoter. That's what the thing, Mike. He has enough guys, smaller guys out there. All
There's
Latinos
enough.
out there. He can go to Asia, fight his weight class. That's not a problem. It's the right management and promotion. That's what it is.
You agree with that, Ricardo?
Honestly, yeah, I think I agree 100% with Mr. Mancini.
Okay.
So I mean,
featherweight it is.
Ricardo, we want, I said it's you're an inspiration for me because I love I love these stories. You're an inspiration for others that you come here, but the fact that you come with you're part of the DACA, but you went and got that education. You use the benefits of being why your family came to America for a better life to give yourself a better life by getting that education, which is, Mike, we talk about a lot often here, how important. First and foremost, get the education because you guys educate to elevate. But the fact that you've taken on another occupation, and it's, as we say, we don't play boxing, you're a fighter, professional fighter who's looking for the opportunity to excel in that. He's excelling in school, getting up to excel in his profession. I admire that. And I'm hoping anybody out there listening, whether it's the Tommy and Terry Lane from Reno, whether it's Tom Brown from TGB Promotions, and I'll be talking to him, and I'll be emailing and trying to get in touch with Terry and Tommy. To give this kid an opportunity, man. Give this kid an opportunity. The kid can fight. I can assure you, you will not be disappointed in this kid giving you the 100% maximum effort. But this kid can fight. Just give him an opportunity.
I've never seen you fight, but I'll just recommend what he's saying. That is such a good point. Your family comes over and makes a sacrifice to put you in the position to do it, and you're not settling for good enough. You want the best, and you're going to college, and you're fighting your tail off, and you go to the gym every day, even though you don't have a fight. I don't know what more a promoter could look for.
That's exactly right.
In a fight.
Dedicated, Mike. He's dedicated to the sport, to himself. He's not letting himself down because he's going to the gym, getting that education. Like you said, I don't know what anyone. So anybody out there, any promoter, how about this? Any promoter anywhere in the country, you got a kid. You got a quality individual here, and I can tell you, as a fighter, I'm telling you, I will vouch for this kid. This kid can fight. He's got a part, and also you need tape. You need tape on him. We got a couple fights. You can go online. They go get online, right? That's how I got it.
On YouTube, yeah.
But if they need to get in touch with your manager, Bill
Nelson.
Nelson.
Can
you give a phone number for him on there? Bill, I hope you don't mind. I don't think you'll mind.
All right, go look into this camera, Ricardo. Look into that camera and sell yourself right now. This is your 30-second commercial. Go ahead.
My name is Ricardo Lucio. I'm from Reno, Nevada. I'm hungry. I want to become a world champion. I got everything it takes. My work effort is tremendous. I got the heart. I'm smart, and I'm hungry. I want everything in boxing.
And he's got some talent.
And the kid can fight again. And not the tagline at the end. And this I endorse from Ray Mancini is an endorsement of this kid's talents. Kid can fight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ricardo, give Bill's phone number so people who are watching or listening.
Is he still 330?
No.
Oh, is he gone? Has he left us?
There's something we said, Ricardo.
Oh, and Ricardo's gone.
Yes. His number is 702 302 2156.
One more time. 702.
Poor guy.
302 2156.
He has 15 text messages by the time he's done.
Yeah.
From some dude in Mississippi.
Get you back on. We need to get you back. There it is.
There you go.
Okay. We got that, right? We'll put that up there. After the show, we're going to put that up there and so people can see. But again, people can hit you up on Facebook or anywhere to get in touch.
Facebook at Ricardo Lucio. Instagram at Team RLG.
But what is it at?
Team RLG.
TROG. TRLG.
No, Team.
Team
RLG, yeah.
Team.
That's good.
Team RLG.
Got it.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
people would say, "Ray, I was looking for. I didn't see TLG.
No.
I didn't see no TLG.
I saw TLC, but I can't find it.
Better. We're gonna put it up for you. We're gonna put that up on there, right? We're gonna have it up for you. So anybody who says the replay or gets this later on, they will see that. Because again, any boxing promoter, you will get a quality individual, a quality fighter. If he's taking it matched the right way, this kid will be a winner. Kid can fight. And, who's your trainer now? Who's your trainer now?
My father.
Oh, your father. There you go.
My father.
There you go.
That never works, does it?
Well, we've talked about it. We've talked about it, Ricardo. I'm not a big advocate, but I understand it. Why a lot of times, who's going to protect this kid? He's in the gym. His father wants to. His father taught him to fight before. I said I'm not a big advocate of fathers being in the corner, only because my father taught me it's no good because emotions get involved. And when emotions get involved,
Right.
you can't have a direct. The thought process is different. So
Very
that's
true.
what I know. The father said, "I'm protecting my son. Nobody knows my son better than me." At some point, for your success, and I think most people would agree. At some point, for your success, future success, the father has to relinquish the reins to somebody else. But once, I'm sure,
Right.
and I'm sure your father knows because he works. He works. He's a working guy.
jobs.
2 jobs. This is his 3rd job. But he's got to make sure he gives them to the right person. Make sure he's comfortable with the right person taking over. That could take you to another step. Once I think, he would be willing to do that. I would hope so. I'm assuming he would, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, because like you said, he wants the best for me, and putting me in the right hands is the priority.
That's right. And if there's trainers in the area of Reno, I mean, this is where promoters come involved. Like a guy Tommy, or there's guys I know that who are in L.A. Fighters live other places, but they come to L.A. to train. But they're training when it's time for a fight. Now, on the way up, I did that. I was living in New York at the time. That's why I was fighting so regularly. So for him to continue to fight regularly and be in the gym all the time, he's got to have a trainer probably up in that area. But maybe San Francisco area, maybe Sacramento.
Sacramento.
It's close enough that you could go there. You have to fight. You go there. You might have to move there for a period of time. Once you get done with your degree, once you get that degree, but time off to go
Yes,
for
sir.
training camp.
And people do it online now. A lot of people go to college online.
You could do it online. You can do your stuff online. I'm sure, right?
Right. No, yeah, definitely.
Okay, Mike, good point. Very
A lot
good
of
point.
things to think about, Ricardo.
No,
We're going to put a lot of things in your
We're
mind.
going to pump you up because after talking to you, I don't think anybody in this room will dispute that you're a quality individual. You want what's best, and you need the opportunity. I tell people, just give the people the chance. They don't hit.
Yep.
But you give them the opportunity. That's all they're asking is for the opportunity. His family came to America for the opportunity. This kid's, needs it. He's everything that's good about America. Coming from another country, being an immigrant family, this kid's everything that's good. He's trying to reach the American dream. He's going to school. He's working.
Yeah, he's halfway there.
He's working. He's doing everything he can to fulfill his dreams. Somebody got to help this kid realize his dreams. Give him a hand in supporting him along his journey.
And now, Ricardo, before we cut you loose, you have to promise that once you take this advice that we are giving you, because we're very smart people, and you make $1 bazillion, you will come back and visit us again and take us to dinner and all that good stuff, right? You got to promise right now.
Ricardo, how smart am I?
We're going to breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
All
There
right.
we go.
See?
And Mike said, he goes, "Well, Mike, you ain't the smartest guy if you're doing a show with me.
No,
you ain't
I-
the smartest."
Some would say that. I disagree.
I
I would
appreciate
disagree
that.
with
Ricardo, I can't thank you enough. Again, this show, I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to be different than any other type of show I've done because I wanted it to be about inspirational stories, and you were certainly that. And you're the American dream, man. You are the American dream. And I'm going to have you back down the road after you have some more fights, after we get you a trainer, a promoter. At least first we're going to get on a promoter, and then a trainer. Because not that Dad can't do it. That's not what I'm talking about. But for you, I think it's better for him to be your father,
Right.
not your business partner. He needs to be your father. But he's working out for his son. That's why he loves you. He's looking out for his son. That's why he's in his corner now to give you the best he got. And then, all you want is the opportunity. And failure
Yes,
is,
sir. Yeah.
and you're a success no matter what. Whether you reach the world
Thank
title,
you.
that's irrelevant at this point to me because you are the American dream.
Thank you.
So, anybody watching this, you get in touch with us. You're at Ray's Boom Boom Room. We have all the our website. We have our every
Every
Facebook,
social
YouTube,
platform.
Thank you, Mike. That's the word. Mike's going to see. Social platform. That's the term. Social platform.
Yeah, social media
Will be
platform.
up,
We got 'em all.
It'll be up on the link after the show. So when people watch it, they'll watch it again, or people are going to watch it for the first time. You'll see it on, Facebook Live, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, all the things, all the way to get in touch with us. And if you're interested in getting in touch with Ricardo, get in touch with us. We'll certainly pass it on. Or he gave his email as well as his
He did the Instagram. He gave Bill
Instagram
Nelson's phone number.
Social media.
We're covered, man. We are
and, we're, and his phone number. So anybody, sir, please get in touch.
right.
Ricardo,
Also on YouTube, if I might chip in, the mini documentary on me, if you want to get to know me a little more, it's called Dreamer Boxing for DACA, and it's 10 minutes, but it's very
it's a good
precise.
10 minutes. It's a very good 10 minutes. And we're gonna have the link in the description, or you
Yeah,
want to do it?
you'll see the link when
We're
this
We're
goes
gonna
live.
have the link in the description, so we'll have that on
Thank
too. Believe me, anybody see this kid's you'll love it. It's very inspirational. Yes, it is.
All right, Ricardo. Good luck to you. Okay.
Ricardo, my friend.
Thank you, appreciate it.
My pleasure, my friend.
Thank you guys for having me on, and God bless you guys too.
You too,
Take
my
care.
brother, and I look forward to having you on again soon.
All right.
Take care. God
Yes,
bless.
sir.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else, man. This is what we're about.
That's pretty good.
Bringing inspirational
Pretty good.
stories like Ricardo, Lucio.
What do you got?
Galvan.
What do you got this week? You got a schedule this week?
Schedule? No, not this week. I'm in.
Are you
till,
off?
Till the 20. I'll leave to the Ricardo. If you get a chance to watch the fight, the 23rd of this month on the Fox PBC, the rematch between Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo for the 154 junior middleweight title. It's a rematch. Tony, on our first PBC show back in December, Tony beat him on a controversial decision. I don't think there's any dispute about that. But Tony is said, I beat him first time. I don't think there's any dispute, and I'm going to beat him easier this time. And Jermell says, he beat him the first time. I should have got the decision. I'm going to beat him easier. I'm going to beat him more sound.
Yeah, no doubter.
Make it I'm going to beat him, so there's no question about it.
That'll be fun. That's on the Mothership. It's on Fox
That's on
Network.
Mothership.
On Saturday night.
On Fox, June 23rd, as I'll talk about again as we get closer to it.
Nice.
And but I'm around, and so I'm available for any birthday parties,
This
bat
is the-
mitzvahs, anything.
You do those balloon animals?
Well, I
be
don't
nice.
have to actually. There's a couple. There are people who do that. There are people who do it very well, and we
How
can't
do they do
get
that?
a hold of them.
Oh, you can
I
make a
don't know.
bicycle out of 14 balloons.
Turn
That's
it.
crazy, isn't it? How they pull it off.
Anyhow, but until next time.
Uh-huh.
Till next show, next Tuesday we'll be back again around the same time, unless it may be later, but around the same time, 1:30. We'll be on for another new guest. We're not sure who that is.
No, I know who it is. Do you want to know?
Yeah,
It's world-renowned chef Mark Hanzanetta.
is that who our next guest is?
Yeah. He's
World-renowned
won guys
chef.
grocery games and used to work for Guy Fieri.
Guy
and
Fieri,
the
there we
whole-
go.
He's got a restaurant here
So
in
Ricardo, if
Youngstown.
you get a chance, check it out, man. Learn about foods, man, with this guy.
Yeah, we eat right on this
Okay,
in this city,
That's
buddy.
our renowned chef Mark Canzanetti, my good friend, and the owner of Bistro
1907.
1907
You got it.
downtown Youngstown, one of the top restaurants in Youngstown, and beautiful. We'll find out about some cooking. We'll get a little bit about the cooking hour. Okay,
He's got a lot of good stories.
He's got great stories.
So.
Well, till next time, take care of each other, love each other. Good night and God bless. That's with you. Take care.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.